Hey, yo, it's The Building Downtown. You can follow us on social media at The Building DT. You can follow and subscribe to the show on YouTube, iTunes, Spotify, wherever you get your podcast from. I'm your host, Jason Kelly. You can follow me at JKellyMMA. My other co-host, Kirill Kasatskiy at Krill Raps. And my other co-host, Amy Barton at Ames Bell. Today, it's the first of a kind on the show, the first artist we've ever had. This man will own the Louvre one day. Cody Tkach. Did I get that right?
Yeah, that's it's my stage name. I do hip hop as well. Yep. I go by Cody Tkach. My artwork is just my regular name, Cody Tkach. So
okay. So you just came back from Mexico, and I saw you were down there for some work. We'll talk about that. But first day there, almost got arrested.
Yeah. Well,
what the fuck happened?
Just regular stupid shit. Just smoking weed on the beach. So.
Oh, that's what it was for.
I was just smoking weed on the beach. We finished dinner, and then I was just like fucking blazing and fucking got a tap on the shoulder. So.
What'd they do to you?
They just made me walk like a fucking couple hundred yards down. There's another dude there, and then you just pay that dude, and then.
Oh, serious?
Well, yeah, they're basically like, yo, you can pay us here like this amount or whatever, or we could take you. You can get a lawyer and shit. We could take you in, but they're gonna make you pay way more over there. So.
Oh shit, eh?
Yeah. It's Mexico.
Yeah, that's how it is.
I don't think Krill's mic is on, by the way.
You know what? It's turned all the way down though.
Nice.
Nice. That's better.
All right, sorry, Krill. Yeah, you're saying
no,
that's the way it
saying
works
back
back home.
I had a very similar story there. Like, we can take you to the station, write you a ticket, which will be a couple hundred more. You can just pay me right here and just fucking go home. It's like, all right, man.
Yeah. So what were you doing down there for work? Some sort of mural or some shit like that? I saw some of it on Facebook, so I didn't like catch what the entire job was.
Yeah, well, I didn't even go for work. We just went for like a vacation, and then when I was talking to people online and shit about like just like I was just seeing if any of the homies on any of my social media knew anyone down there, and then turns out one of my homies, Jesse Jacobson, he runs some of the battles out here and stuff, the rap battles, and his little brother actually lives in Puerto Vallarta. So when we got out there, he's like a semi-pro skater and shit, so when we got out there, he got us all like, settled and fucking got us our trees and our fucking party supplies or whatever. And
yeah.
Kind of showed us where to go and where not to go and shit and blah, blah, blah. It was good just having a little homie there or whatever. But so their mom owns an art gallery right downtown Puerto Vallarta. It's called something, I don't know how you'd say it in Spanish, but it's just called the Art Exchange. Okay. And when I got down there, he just took us to the art gallery, and then his mom just commissioned me to do some canvases for her. So,
wow, eh? And has she ever seen your art before? Was she familiar with you at all? Like, did they show them anything first, or?
Yeah, well, yeah, I'm presuming his brother's name's Axton. I'm guessing Axton showed her my shit, and then she was feeling it. So they got a lot of pop art down there. So.
Okay. Yeah, that shit's super unique that you do. From the first time I ever spoke to you, I told you, like, I am by no means some sort of art connoisseur. A lot of it I look at it and I'm like, I don't fucking get it. You know what I mean? But that shit you do is so fucking unique and cool. Like, where did the idea come from? Obviously, there's an inspiration of video games and, like The Simpsons and shit like that.
Cartoons,
yeah. But where's the inspiration come from? Or like, when did you start doing that? What made you start doing that and stick to that kind of art?
It definitely started with graffiti. I didn't even start doing graffiti till I was like maybe 25, like 24, 25.
Mm-hmm.
And basically I was just, a lot of my friends are graffiti writers. A lot of my people I grew up with are really fucking talented graffiti writers. So I would usually be on the road with them or whatever, doing whatever, going to festivals, or they'd be coming to the hip hop shows or whatever. And I would just always paint over, like I'd buff the wall, right? I would just roll it gray or black or whatever like that.
Okay.
And I just got sick of it. So I just bought my own cans and fucking started trying it out. And they were actually like really dope about it. They all encouraged it. And then fucking from there, I did graffiti for like 6 or 7 years. I never even painted like a character or anything. And then when I just started fucking around painting characters. I just kind of like liked it more. It was just a change after painting 6 years of graffiti and letters and shit, and kind of like learning how to use colors and do line work and shit. Then I could finally actually, you know, like do something a little bit different than everyone else. So yeah, I just started painting like cartoons and stuff that like, you know, that fucking everyone likes. Well, specifically myself at first, I just like, oh, I want to paint this guy, or I want to paint this dude, and then yeah, just like fucking, there's just countless like nostalgic little characters you can throw onto a canvas, and just like, I don't know, it's just, some people want like flowers and fucking mountains on their wall, and some people want fucking Mickey Mouse with a fucking gun and
No
like,
shit, the fucking Uzi or something.
you know, like,
That so like, how does one go from doing graffiti, which is considered vandalism, and they're getting tickets and fines and shit?
I was gonna say, were you getting paid for graffiti?
Yeah, and then turning it into something where, you know, making some money off of it.
well, that was the other thing. I spent like $15,000 just on fines for graffiti, right? Like fucking, and in Calgary, like where I started, like fucking, it's if you fucking write your name on a dumpster, or fucking literally on the side of a fucking porta potty, like it's a $5,000 fine. So
holy shit.
Wow.
And sometimes a criminal charge. It depends on like the owner of the shit, right? So sorry, I just got fucking pop-ups there. But yeah, fucking, and then I got arrested. So I got arrested once in Calgary,
Yeah.
which was a $5,000 fine. And then we did like a fundraiser or some shit, and I think we made like $2,500, so that was tight. I only had to pay like $2,500 for that, but then I got blasted again out in fucking Banff, which is like a fucking national park.
Yeah, that's how
And it was just in like the alley downtown in Banff. Like we were just getting drunk at a bar, and I tagged something in the alley. Like I literally think it was a dumpster, and it's $10,000 in the fucking national parks.
Jesus.
And yeah, so there was like a fucking whatever, like a fucking plainclothes like undercover officer like over like near one of the bars. I guess he saw me through the alley, so I got 10 grand for that. And then yeah, just after paying like 10 grand or 15 or 1,200 bucks or $12,000 in fucking graffiti fucking charges, I was just kind of like, actually that was kind of where it started, was when we did the one of the fundraisers, because like fucking I was like, well, I'm not going to sell graffiti because all the undercover cops are going to be here too. So I was like, fucking, I'll just do like cartoon characters and shit. And they ended up selling way more, right? So fucking when I made that cash back to pay off those fines and shit, I was like, fucking, well, maybe I should consider just painting fucking some real artwork.
Yeah, a light bulb went on.
Yeah, well, no, you know, like we're still getting a little bit of trouble here and there, but it's like fucking, it's just, it's just not as lucrative, right? So
yeah. And is that something that cops take seriously? Like fucking, like people, graffiti artists, or what they, you know, consider vandalism, whatever. Like you just said, that cop was in plain clothes. Is he in plain clothes just monitoring what's going on in the park, and they fucking, like, they'll nail a graffiti writer? Is that something like cops are on the fucking lookout for? We've had law enforcement on the show before. None of us thought to ask about graffiti. You know what I mean? It just doesn't seem like something you think that would be on a cop's radar.
Yeah, well, Banff is like, there's a city in it too, right? Like it's a national park, but there's a city in it, right? There's like a town. So they have cops there, and it's all RCMP, and fucking they take their job way too fucking serious, but especially in Banff, like fucking, but yeah, so I don't know, there's just always gonna be like some fucking hero cop somewhere that, like, you know, if he sees you, he's like, in Vancouver it's fucking $500 fine and slap on the wrist. They won't even bring you to jail or anything, but and there's no court date or anything. It's just a fucking $500 fine. But that's why some of the best artists come out of fucking Vancouver and shit, because there's a lot more room to fucking paint, right?
Is there? I was just gonna actually ask you that. Is there a lot of the buildings and a lot of like bridges and shit have graffiti on them out there, like nice graffiti?
Like fucking downtown East Side, yeah. Like they don't give a fuck about anything down there, right? Like you have to fucking literally like kill someone to like fucking get in trouble down there, or like rob like a store, like, because that's the only thing they take it seriously is like fucking other people up, or like robbing from the businesses or whatever. So right? you can walk around, you can smoke crack, you can spray paint the walls, you can fucking you can fight another fucking person as long as they're like a crackhead or something.
Yeah, there's like a whole like legit Skid Row out there, isn't there? I've never
Yeah,
been
yeah,
out west.
it's fucking, yeah, it's bad, man.
Holy shit! And there's
But
a lot of
if you go downtown right now, like downtown East Side, they fucking everything is covered in graffiti. Like there's not one building that's not fucking covered in graffiti. Like but then you cross one block and then it's all like, you know, like the Gucci store and the fucking Louis Vuitton and shit.
holy shit.
And so all those walls get cleaned right away. But there's literally like, there's a few streets that's around the hood where you can look on one side and it's just everything is covered, like the doors, the windows, the fucking bricks, the fucking sidewalk, everything. And then on the other side of the street, there's not a fucking tag anywhere.
Holy shit.
Yeah.
Yeah, in Vancouver too, like it's getting more and more of a reputation of being a rougher city and a more dangerous city. But outside of that area, like nighttime, is it fucking nightlife and stuff? Is it dangerous to go out?
It's way more dangerous outside of that area. That's one of the safest places in the fucking city, to be honest, because nobody fucks with. Well, no one fucks with each other. Like the only way you're getting fucked up is if you've stolen somebody's shit, like their bike or something, or like fucking gave them bad drugs or some shit like that. Everyone it's not, honestly, like one of the closest knit community. It's the only like neighborhood left. Like fucking people know each other. People like fucking, you know, like help each other out. Like it's actually really dope there. And there's so many undercovers and there's so many actual cops wearing clothes and shit that it's like the fucking safest place you can be. The second you go over into like Gastown or something where all the fucking drunk white guys are and shit, that's where it gets fucked up. That like everyone's fucking drunk and fucking throwing bottles at you and shit and like trying to be tough and shit. Like the fucking crackheads aren't gonna do anything, man. Like fucking, they're all like fighting each other and shit. Like fucking, this guy snitched on this guy, or this guy was selling frozen soap instead of crack or whatever. Like, you know, like they're fucking each other up. They're not fucking me and you up though. Like,
yeah. And you grew up in Calgary, right? Or you lived in Calgary when you were younger?
Yeah, I was in Calgary till I was like 18 or 19. Yeah.
That's no fucking nice place either. I got a buddy that's lived out in like near Calgary, Edmonton, and Cold
Again,
Lake.
it's just drunk dudes though.
Yep.
Just drunk people.
Yeah, he says it's crazy. He's like, fuck, he's like, it's nothing like Toronto. It's just so much more fucking violent than Toronto.
Yeah, people just like get drunk and then they're like, hey, let's go fucking fight someone. Like, you know.
What's the hip hop scene like out there? Is it violent as well? Is there a lot of problems with any like hip hop festivals, hip hop concerts, like local shows?
No, man, Vancouver's getting really good at like supporting each other. Like most of the people out here now fucking, I don't think there was ever really a time like there's like been little beefs like, you know, like Snack and Mad Child and shit like that, but like there hasn't been like any like fuck, I can't even remember. Like the last beef I can think of about was like fucking maybe 10 years ago. Like it was like fucking Paper Chase and Manic or something. We're actually like fucking punching each other out at shows and shit, but like
that was Manic fucking battle rapper Manic.
Yeah.
That battled Ilmac and who was it?
Yeah.
Thesaurus.
Yeah,
I remember what happened after that battle. And
they got in like some kind of little weird thing, and Manic got all like internet famous for doing his like crazy eyes.
Yeah, his crazy eyes and shit.
Yeah.
That's one of my favorite things ever. Yeah, Manic and Spite did not have a good day at the office that day. They got fucking washed. Whatever happened?
And then Manic and Spite actually had a beef. It seems just like if Manic's around, there's a beef, but like that's my uncle though. So.
Oh, for real?
No, that's just
not your uncle. Right? But yeah. No, it's like he's a friend of yours though.
He's Van Nate thing.
Yeah, he's a friend of yours though.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I'm doing a show with him on April 9th. It's like a hip hop. It's an Aboriginal hip hop boat party with like DJ Shubs from Tribe Called Red, and there's a bunch of other people on there. I can't remember right now, but.
So how does I take it, because a lot of the artwork I've seen of yours, it blends well in with the hip hop culture, like to the same way comic books do and shit like that. Do you get a lot of a business through hip hop? Yeah,
man. Honestly, if I didn't rap for like fucking the 10 or 15 years that I did before painting, I don't think I'd ever have the fucking like reach that I do. You know, like definitely a lot of the paintings I sell are from people that at one point listened to my music. So definitely, yeah.
And what, do you still work on music, or have you got away from it?
Yeah, no, I definitely haven't made any. I think it's been about 3 years, but I'm sitting on some stuff. there's a producer from Vancouver here named Eng. He's produced for like fucking Wu-Tang Clan all the way to like fucking when 2 Chainz was Titty Boy, and he made like some tracks for Nipsey Hussle. He's a pretty fucking heavy name in the producer market. So me and him actually have a full album together, and I just don't know when I'm gonna drop it. Like I haven't even shot a video or anything yet. I just like fucking with everything going on, and I'm like with the artwork, and like I just started up my website and my online shit. We want to actually open a storefront, and I got like the clothing and shit now and shit. So like I've just had my fucking hands filled. Like art pays the bills right now. So like
Nice.
To be completely brutally honest, like I don't think I've ever made money off actually making music. It's been more so like merch and fucking doing rap battles and selling tickets to shows and shit like that pay the bills. Like music sales have never really put money in my pocket, right? Like in fact, like at the end of the day, when you're an independent artist and you're paying money to shoot music videos and get big collaborations and go on tours and shit like that, like it ends up costing you way more than you end up making, right? So until you get to a certain level, right? But
yeah, that's exactly it. The music industry is a serious grind, and you never know if you're going to make it. It's the 1% of the 1% of the 1% at the end of the day that, you know, rise to the actual, like the cream of the crop. With art, is there a lot of space for people to make a living in it? Like,
well, it depends on what lane you're choosing, right? Like, I don't know. Like I said, I don't know if I didn't do the music before I did this shit, like I nearly do it as well as I'm doing. So like for a lot of people, even if they do this, and I do see a lot of people trying to like kind of, I'm definitely by far like not the first person to like make the exact style art that I make, but like I do know there's lots of other artists before me, but I kind of I'm kind of in my own lane as far as location, like up here and stuff, you know, like you don't find a lot of the stuff that I make. I do see a lot of people starting to do it now, but again, they don't really have a huge backing of support already, right? So but like if you're just somebody selling landscapes and like I said, flowers or like, then it's fucking hard to make it in art. To make it in art these days, you got to be able to like, I feel like just do like custom like family portraits and fucking and animals, like shit like that people buy on a daily basis, or be a tattoo artist, right? Like tattoo artists make a fucking shitload of money. They're the most angry people in the world, but most of them hate their job because they have to do shit they don't want to do all day. But you know, like it depends what you're gonna do as an artist, right? So I kind of chose when I came into the game what I was gonna do, what I wanted to do, because I knew if I was gonna do this as an actual living, and then I couldn't be doing something that I don't want to do. And but yeah, to answer your question, I guess it's it's saturated out there for sure. There's tons and tons of people trying to be. There's probably more. You know how that is as rappers, right? Like there's way more people trying to just be artists than there are trying to be rappers. So
fuck it. This NFT shit. Do you understand anything that's going on with that? Are you tapped into that world?
I do and I don't. I'm like, because I'm like so bad. Like I even needed like people to walk me through how to get on this fucking chat right now. So
that's true.
but yeah, no. So the technology part of it, I have no idea. Like they say you need like to sit down for like 50 to 100 hours or something and do your research before you get into the game. I'm like, fuck, I don't even have the time for that. And me sitting in front of a computer, I'd probably just like blow my head off trying to figure shit out like that. But the art side of it I do get, and like the non-fungible token part I do get, and I do get how it's good. It's very profitable to like make one, because you're always gonna fucking have royalties on that image or whatever, no matter how many times it sells. So that's pretty crazy. The other thing I've been talking to people though about is fucking lately, since fucking my mid 30s now, I'm growing more of a conscience, and apparently it's like super bad for the environment and the earth and shit, the amount of energy that they spend on it.
Oh really? I didn't hear that.
Yeah, you got to do some research into that shit. It's apparently it's like fucking the world up. So like the
Holy
amount of
shit.
energy it's taking or something. But so I still have to do more research on that too. But that's what I've heard so far. But with all that being said, I do have like an NFT in the works right now. It's just I don't even know if we're gonna drop it, and I also have a few different people that are kind of like wanting to because like I said, I don't know what the fuck I'm doing with it, so I'm basically gonna hire somebody to help me with it and give them a percentage. So I'm kind of figuring out who I'm gonna get to help me right now.
Yeah, the biggest thing that I don't get is what, like, I mean, somebody could just create an image digitally and download it. So what's the difference? How do they become worth? Like, how are they so valuable? I've read some of them
But
going
it's
for
just
millions.
like buying like cryptocurrency. So like if you have one single Bitcoin, no one else can ever have that Bitcoin, right? There's only a certain amount in circulation or whatever.
Okay.
So if you make this image, it goes into like a blockchain. That's what they call it, and basically it can never be remade. This image that you're buying. So if that image, it's money. It's basically money, and they're basically saying in the distant future we're going to be using NFTs to get into things like concerts and events and shit like that. Blah blah blah.
Huh.
It's fucking weird, man. Like I don't even understand that part yet.
Imagine that you're paying with a Mickey Mouse at the door or some shit.
Yeah. Well, no, it'll be some kind of currency that's just an NFT. It won't be like an image or anything. It'll be, so anyways, once you buy that image and say you resell it to somebody really, really fucking wants that image, and they're willing to pay you a fucking $1 million for it. Yeah. Now that NFT is worth, that image that you had is now officially worth $1 million.
But it's only because somebody's willing to pay for it, right?
Yeah, and then I would get like whatever amount of royalty I set on that image. So if they buy it for $1 million and I say I want 10% of that as a royalty, now I get that whatever, like at $10,000 or $100,000 or whatever. And then if they sell it for 5 million, I get 10% royalty on the 5 million to the next person. Nice. So as long as that shit is going around in circulation and reselling to people, I'm making money every single time it resells.
That's good for
as the creator of the NFT, not if you just buy it, but like if you
as the creator. Yeah.
Okay. That art industry could be used to launder money if you think about it. If anybody, if anybody could just who?
Alec Monopoly.
No,
he's I think he's Russian, but like he's American, but I think he's like his background's Russian, but I'm pretty sure he's like a super heavy money launderer for like all the gangs out there. But he sells like a painting of the Monopoly man with a bag of money, like sloppily spray painted on a canvas for like $45,000-$50,000. You know?
That's what I'm saying, right? Because you can say it's worth whatever, and that money becomes legal because he's just sold a fucking painting.
Yeah.
Wow.
And then if he makes the $50,000, I bet you he takes 10 grand and they take 40,000 fucking clean money, right? Like,
yeah,
that's crazy.
Wow. As someone who's graffiti and then obviously on canvas, now you got this NFT thing. One thing that I'm having a hard time getting past with Bitcoin or NFTs or whatever it may be. Now we got metaverse or whatever the hell going on. I like tangible things.
That's just fucked up.
Right. I like tangible things. So I mean, yeah, you might be able to make more off an NFT, but what was your preference be? Like something digital like that, or something you could fucking like something you could hold?
Well, that's what I figure. Like in the future, people are going to be sitting in little fucking shanties, fucking with like a headset on, looking at a fucking like living like they're in a mansion, right? Like fucking...
Metaverse is definitely a step towards Matrix.
No, but I think they want. I think the end goal of that, I'm hella into conspiracies and shit, is they just want like people to like spend their money on shit that's fake so they can't buy real shit, right? Like.
Yeah, man, that NFT, the Bitcoin, the metaverse, the little bit I've spent trying to understand it, I just don't.
Somebody spent $450,000 to buy a property inside of metaverse besides Snoop Dogg.
That's what I mean. So you basically just bought something fake that's not even real for $500,000,
because your picture is going to be beside Snoop Dogg now when people come in there. That's about it.
Yeah.
Holy fuck, man! It seems to me like, remember the game The Sims that was out in like 2000 or some shit that.
Sim City,
yeah, Sim City and shit. That's what it seems like to me.
Yeah,
I don't get
exactly what it is. It's just Sim City like 2021, like, and you can and now they're buying shit like art off like people like me or like mural artists so that they can put it on like the street walls and shit, you know? Like,
Oh wow. Holy
it's just
shit.
everything's gonna be fake and shit. And then you're gonna like feel uncomfortable living in the real world and shit. I don't know. I just don't fuck with it.
Aside from the spray paint and the acrylic and that, do you do anything else like sketches with pencil or anything outside of that?
Yeah, actually, fucking when I was just doing this art course online. One of the fucking things was just sketching, like just doing fucking your own, like that's one of the other things too, is I'm mostly a reference artist, right? Like it's really hard for me to just make up my own characters.
Okay.
So this whole thing was just sketching your own characters, and I came up with some cool shit and ended up painting them and selling those, so that was pretty cool. But besides that, just lately fucking just doing bigger walls and then using epoxy on most of the canvases. The epoxy is pretty fucking crazy because you got to do it like perfectly, but it makes your shit look like 80 million times better. So
Is it sorry, go ahead, girl.
Is there any copy, because you said you're a reference artist, right? So I'm wondering, is there any copyright problems because you use characters that somebody else made up?
if I'm like reproducing it in the masses, I think so. Like if I make, like we were saying, like for an example, Mickey Mouse or whatever with a gun or something, and I start putting it on t-shirts and reselling it like fucking globally, I'm sure they'd have a problem with it. But I don't think so, selling one piece of artwork. I've never really looked into it, but one thing I do know is when you take something, say it's Disney or it's anything big like that, and you change it by 30% or more, you actually own the rights to it, is what I've heard. I got to double check on that too.
That's what they do in video games and stuff, right? Because
Yeah, so if you change the colors and you fucking add like a third eye and put a whole bunch of drips on it, fucking, you know, so people can tell what character it is, but it's really not the same.
Yeah.
So you
what I've
personally
been
haven't come
told by
across-
like fucking my homies that are in the like legal game and shit, they say that that's pretty much like they can't fuck with you on that. So, but again, I should probably do my own research on that. But
well, because
right now I'm just kind of getting on the come up a bit. So like I don't think they're looking at me yet. So
well, because like even people like Bruno Mars, I think, got sued 18 times for 24 karat gold. Yeah. And then Dua Lipa just got sued a couple times for one song too. You know what I mean? So I'm just thinking, if it's a piece of art that that attracted attention, made money. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? I'd imagine somebody trying to get something out of it. You know what I'm saying? As soon as the money comes in, there's somebody hunting for you.
I don't know what the deal is, but I'll ask some people, because there's a ton of like really big artists that I know that make millions of dollars, and their shit is all, you know, Disney and fucking Monopoly and things that are definitely trademarked, you know, like so yeah, I don't know.
Anyone ever try to jack your shit? You ever see anyone friggin' try to sell it off as it is theirs, like saying that they created it and they didn't buy it from you? Any shit like that?
No, I get a lot of like resale stuff. Like I have people sell my shit and they'll let me know. They'll be like, oh, I sold that canvas for like, you know, a couple hundred more, and I'm like, that's good. Like that ups the value of my art.
Yeah.
I've also found my canvases in like Value Village and shit. Like,
oh, really?
Yeah, actually, you know what's fucked up? There's a fucking a pretty fucking big rapper that a lot of people know. I won't name any names or anything, that got a canvas off me because we're still talking. We're trying to figure shit out, but yeah, I've sold the canvas to a pretty big rapper, and then I've had a homie be like, "Oh, yo, I just found this at Value Village." Like, like straight up. I guess he just moved or whatever, and like fucking, I don't know. But my homie bought it and like from Value Village and resold it for like several $100. So like, you know, like it's just funny. But I've had other artists around the city just try to like take exact paintings I've made and paint them themselves and sell them for half the price and shit, you know, like.
Holy shit.
Yeah.
Wow. What'd your buddy pay for that the painting at Value Village? Do you know?
He gave me like $400, but also he was supposed to do a verse on one of my songs.
Yeah, no, but your friend that found it at Value Village.
Oh, I think he sold it for like $800 or $900.
But what did he pay for it at
Oh,
Value
like
Village?
probably, I think he said like $30 or
Oh,
20
okay,
bucks.
okay,
You know, like
okay.
20 bucks. Yeah, it was like a triptych. It was like 3 canvases all like elastic together, like sitting in the front. Yeah.
Holy shit, that's wild. What the fuck was I gonna say? I'm stoned. I forgot where I was going.
Right.
Oh, Amy, that guy that does all the sketches of the MMA fighters. What's his name again?
Evan Showman.
Evan Showman. He told me one time that
Gotta get a
people
drink.
always friggin' print his sketches
Mhm.
and then they frame them and they put them on the wall rather than buying the print or whatever, right?
That's why he writes all over them.
Yeah.
Oh, that's why. Okay.
A lot of
I
people
mean-
do that.
Yeah,
go ahead,
it's the
Amy.
same as like anybody creating an image or a photographer putting their watermark on the bottom corner so you can't crop it out. It's the same thing.
Oh, okay. Yeah. I was talking to him the one time about Sean Tompkins sketching that he had, and he said to me, he's like, "Yeah, just don't print it and frame it." And I was like, "Why the fuck would I do that?" And he's like, "That's a thing, man. I hear about it all the time. I see it." He said he's been places and he sees it. He's just like, "Oh, where'd that come from?" Some person will
Yeah.
give some bullshit story, and he's just like, "Yeah, I fucking drew that."
Mhm.
Yeah, it was just like people that wear fucking fake clothes, right? Like if you know your shit, then you're just gonna be like, you look stupid now. Like,
Yeah.
our artwork's a little easier to get away with because it's not like fucking 9 out of 10. No, actually, like probably fucking 90 fucking 8 out of 100 people will walk into your house and not know anything about artwork, right? So
Yeah.
a lot of people will go online and be like, "Oh, this guy's dope. Art's so fucking dope. How much?" And then they'll be like, "Oh, it's like fucking $5,000 for a canvas." And then they'll be like, "Oh, okay, I'll get back to you." And then they'll go on to fucking Google, image the fucking canvas or search the canvas and go to London Drugs and print it out. You know, and fucking.
Mhm. Do you know a lot about other kinds of art and periodical art and this and that, whatever else? Like, is it something you need to know in order for you to do what you do?
Not like when I started this shit, I didn't know fucking anything. Like,
Mhm.
and I think that's why I like kind of even like some of my old stuff more because I like, well, some of the shit just because like I didn't know fucking anything and I didn't have now like I actually had a guy, I'll get into the story after if you guys want, but I had a guy that bought $60,000 worth of art off me and he was basically saying that he was gonna like he's a multi fucking millionaire. Like he is actually a multi-millionaire. He was basically saying like I was going to be retired at 40. He was going to help me all with all the shit, blah, blah, blah. But anyways, he was talking to me. Fuck, what was the question you just asked?
No, I forget.
No, you were asking if you know anything about
Yeah.
other.
Okay, so yeah, so
Yeah.
once I started hanging out with this guy, he taught me a lot about different art and shit. Like he actually literally has galleries in other places and shit and blah, blah, blah. And so I started learning more about art, like off of him and stuff, but it wasn't really my style. But I started doing my own research on other shit. Like I said, I didn't know anything about a fucking one painter or anything when I started doing this shit.
Mm-hmm.
And I really got into like, Jean-Michel Basquiat and a bunch of the New York guys, like fucking Warhol and all those guys. I started watching documentaries and reading books about those guys. So that's had a little bit of influence on my shit now. And just like not really time like periods, but like from places around the earth and just seeing like the different styles of art and shit. I've learned a lot in that regard too. But no, I've never done any like research, like reading back on like, like Renaissance
art school.
Or, yeah, I don't know the fucking first thing about even like fucking I don't know shit about like propaganda art or like Renaissance art or any of that kind of shit.
So
I'm
no
like
art,
fucking,
no art school.
I'm like
nothing,
1990 till now kind of thing. But
What is that, Kirill?
there was no art school, no education like that.
well, art school and where I grew up, like I grew up in Calgary. I don't know about other places, but art school in Calgary, they just fucking give you a pen and pencil and try that. And then they'll like give you a paintbrush and they're like, try that. And then they give you a fucking crate, like pastels. Try that. Okay, fuck, you suck. 0%. You were good. 100%. Like, they don't like teach you anything about art. They just fucking throw shit in your hand, give you a coloring book, and then fucking.
Can you appreciate most other art? or are you pretty stuck
Oh
on what
yeah,
you
no
do?
man.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know. I love fucking. I've been watching tons of shit lately, just like on YouTube or whatever. But like fucking, the more I watch now, the more like I like different styles of art than like just pop art like mine. Like I fucking definitely. We were just watching this documentary on this guy that like has nightmares all night, and then he like paints what he sees in the morning, and it's all these like
Jesus.
dark creatures and shit. And I was like, fuck, this is tight.
What about like the old school? You ever go to museums and shit? See the big paintings?
Yeah, so we just did mushrooms a little while ago and went and saw the Van
Nice.
Gogh. Yeah, it was a huge Van Gogh exhibit. But
Dude, isn't that dope as shit? I went to it
yeah,
too.
and it was like a year ago, and but they do like the it's not actual paintings of his, but it's they like project them onto the wall about like 100, like 80 feet high and like 100 feet wide on the walls, and you can see like every little brush stroke and like every little fucking thing. And it's a big, huge place you walk around, and it lasts about an hour or something. And they play this really like elegant piano music and blah blah blah. You know, so that was like kind of like
perfect mushroom trip.
Yeah. And then we did the Takashi Murakami exhibit a few years ago at the art gallery. Those are like honestly the only two art shows I've ever been to, but I'm not like fucking, like I said, I'm not super fucking cultured in this shit yet. Like my first few art shows were with other artists, so they'd actually done it nice and had like wine and cheese and the white walls and shit. But like I've never even done my own art show yet. I don't even know what the concept would be. I want to make mine kind of trippy, but yeah.
Have you encountered people from the art world that you see like there's like portrayed stereotypically in movies and shit like that are absolute fucking snobs, and they describe art with unnecessary words and shit like that? Have you encountered any of them?
Yeah, definitely. Not in Vancouver. Fuck yeah, that's people that don't even paint. Like that's just everyone. But no, not like in my realm really. Like because like most of my homies and shit are still like graffiti artists, and they do kind of pop art like me. So we're all kind of down to earth. We're all anybody that you meet that's a graffiti artist or that does art anywhere even similar to mine is usually a pretty fucked up person. So like fucking I don't know any of my graph homies or art homies that aren't just absolute fucking mutants, but no, the second you meet anyone that like goes to like Emily Carr, which is like the fucking the main art school out here, the second you meet anyone that's outside of like kind of our little realm, everyone is like that. Like fucking yeah.
Holy shit, that must be difficult to have a conversation with people, right? When you're trying to
that's
get
why
into
it's
those
hard
galleries.
to like cross. Yeah, so it's hard to cross worlds sometimes because like they're the ones that have all the opportunity, right? So when you fucking, I have to kind of like not put my nose in the air, but I have to fucking like make sure that they fucking. I don't even know what the word is. Like fucking, I have to like fucking switch my face up a bit. When
Yeah.
People,
With the big pieces you do, like the walls, I say you've done like a gym and a few other things. That seems super fucking intimidating to me. How do you space it out so you don't leave a big fucking empty gap at the end or not leave enough space at the end? Like I'm the asshole that when I'm writing on paper, I have to like curve it downwards because I don't fit it in the fucking line. So when I look at that shit, where do you even begin for a piece like that on a big ass wall?
For me, I just do it the exact same way as I do a canvas. Like I always just, especially if I'm doing a character, I always start with the eyes, and it's just all mental math from there. I just count fucking how much space that eye would be to the next fucking line over, and then I use that fucking same eye to like measure everything out around the whole piece, and I just freehand it around it. And as far as spacing goes, like I'll fuck up like the first like 3 times because if I'm just outlining, I can always just re-outline, it's fine. But so sometimes I fuck up the first time or 2, and then 3rd time I'll get it right, and then once you get that sizing right, it all works out perfect. With like crazy ass logos and shit that are like fucking computer generated, I tell people either to get like a fucking decal of it, like I'm not painting this, like that's, or if they do just want it hand painted and they want it to look near perfect, and I say near perfect because you can't like do it like a computer with your fucking bare hand usually.
Yeah.
But honestly, I'll just like use a projector for like things like letters and like for a what's it called, like a company's logo or something. Yeah, but for the characters, I just freehand them. I just fucking go off the, like I said, I just take the eye and fucking measure everything around the eye. So
what's the biggest piece you've done? Like, what's the biggest wall size or square footage or whatever?
Probably this last wall I did was pretty big. It was at the arcade / comedy place. I think that was well, it was 2 walls. One wall was 10 by 30 feet, and the other wall was 15 by 30 feet.
Wow.
And then there was 2 like middle walls between those that were like 10 by 15 or something. So
holy shit. And do you have anyone that's like, I guess, a laborer, fucking for lack of a better term, that helps you do some of this, like some of the whatever rough shit that you need to do or whatever before you go in and do it? Is it all you? Just you?
Not, yeah, all me right now, but soon I'm definitely going to be hiring people, because yeah, there's this thing I had to do on the last wall, actually. Like I've done it on lots of smaller walls, so I didn't think it'd be a problem. But when I'm doing like the space backgrounds, literally to make the stars, I just dip my fingers in like white paint.
Okay.
And then I just like splatter it on the wall with my fingers. And dude, after fucking like however many square feet I just mentioned of this splashing paint, I had like tendonitis, and I like couldn't even paint for like 2 days. And so yeah, I'm definitely getting somebody to do that next time. And just like, yeah, like rolling the wall and doing background shit like that. And doing like set like masking and drop sheets, all that kind of shit. I definitely want to hire somebody to do that shit. But yeah, a lot of the jobs I do right now are in the middle of fucking buttfuck nowhere. This one actually was nice. It was downtown, but a lot of the places I do are like half an hour, 40 minutes, an hour out of town. So it's hard to get people that are, you know, everyone works, right? So it's either me like be like, stop working and I'll pay you full time, or take a day off work, or take like 4 days off work and help me.
And when you're painting on canvas, do you paint at home, or do you have, I would assume you have somewhere ventilated, like a proper place? Or
yeah, I have well, up until now, like just a few months ago, I've had my own studio and gallery and shit down on Broadway and shit. And since then, the building I was doing shit in got condemned. They shut everything down. So I do have a home studio right now.
Okay.
It's just basically fucking, it's like my den, but it's got a big fucking window that opens, and I do all my spray painting downstairs in the fucking parking lot anyway. So but yeah, right now it's just like,
so for like
pretty fucking pinner right now. But
so
me and my buddies just got a new spot. We're gonna get the keys to it probably the 1st of next month. So hopefully we can get back in there.
So if I take it, it's not a cheap hobby, eh? Painting, it's like what you do with all the supplies you need. And if you get real serious, you you got to get a spot to set up in and everything else. Like, it can get very expensive. Yeah.
Yeah, definitely. Like I said, when I have the studio and the gallery, like I'm paying rent for the gallery space and the studio. The gallery got shut down before COVID. Well, during COVID, obviously, because it wasn't essential or whatever. But studio space I can usually get away with like, you know, $400 or $500 a month. But yeah, it's like then adding supplies and all that shit. I try to include my overhead though when I give people quotes for their prices or for their pieces. So I'm never really in the red on fucking material. But
how far away have you been even contacted, even if you weren't even hired for the job, to paint something like even on canvas, if it wasn't like physically? Because I think Mexico is the only time you've been out of the country for a job, right?
Yeah, so far.
Yeah.
Yeah, I
But have
used
you
to.
sold stuff that you've shipped to other countries?
Oh yeah, I've shipped shit like everywhere. I've sent stuff to Austria, fucking what's it called? Holland, the States, Mexico, a few other places, Jamaica, like weird places. Yeah, it's just all off my Instagram, right? So
Nice.
those ones I got a FedEx and shit. That's nice, just using Canada Post because I got a fucking small business account with them. But yeah.
And shipping something like that too, what precautions do you have to take to make sure it's not damaged?
Sometimes if I'm doing like really far away, I just take it right off the frame and I just roll it.
Roll it up. I was gonna say put it in some sort of tube or something, right?
Yeah, I put it in like a
for real,
plastic tube, and then yeah, they basically just have to reframe it when it gets there.
Holy shit. And is there have you ever been contacted for a piece that for whatever may reason you said no?
Oh fuck, all the time, man. Just because like I like to stick to like what I do, right? Like if it's for, I've done lots of pieces that that I'm kind of stepping out of my shit just for my friends though. But like when it's just a regular customer, like I'll be like, okay, did you look at my Instagram page? And they'll be like, yeah, I saw everything. It looks great. And I'm like, okay, so like I'm under the assumption that they like see like all the cartoon characters and that's like what I do. And then they'll be like, oh, can you paint me and my family? I want 4 of my kids on jet skis, and I want my uncle flying over them in a motorbike, and I want a crocodile coming out of the water. And I'm like, that's not what I do, like, you know. And they're like, I'll give you a fucking $1,000, and I'm like, no, like, fuck, like. Because to be honest, I could sit and make 3 canvases in the same amount of time that I actually want to paint and make the same amount of money. So like, fuck.
So you're into battle rap. You've been actually the reason I first came across you was Organic. Organic posted something that he bought off you, and I was like, "What's this?" And that linked me to, I don't know if it was your Instagram or if it was your website a few months ago. And I friggin' I went and took a look, and I was like, "Holy shit, this guy does some crazy stuff." But so do you still not active in battle rap but pay attention to it?
Yeah, I was just watching the what's it called? Well, I only caught like fucking the last round of each, but I watched the title match and the what's it called? The 100K prelims or whatever.
Yeah. Semifinals.
Semifinals, yeah. And yeah, I don't know, fuck it. It's getting way bigger, man. It's fucking crazy. Like,
when did you first start getting into battle rap?
I did the very first King of the Dot battle ever.
What?
Like, yeah, the very first event ever. They did one in Toronto and they did one in Vancouver. And I was the very first. So I guess they would have been a few hours ahead of us, but we started them like at the same time or whatever for each day. And I was the very first battle of the very first King of the Dot in Vancouver.
Holy shit, I did not know that.
Yeah.
Wow,
and I think I'm like 34 battles deep now. I think I have 34 battles. So.
And when was the most recent battle you had? Because you're saying before you're not as active anymore, or recently?
Last one was me versus Marv 1 from Detroit.
Yeah, I know Marv. We like battle rap a lot, but how long ago was that?
Working on a track with Marv right now.
Oh, that's what's up. Yeah, Marv's good shit. We just battled because like he wanted to come back to Vancouver, and I guess it just made sense. But yeah, that was a really dope battle. I've had a few offers just from like kind of the smaller leagues out here, but I just like it takes too much time and fucking effort out of like I said, like I got all my eggs in the art basket right now, so
yeah,
I'm not gonna be like battling like I don't know.
Yeah.
I'll battle if it makes sense, and especially if it's out of town. Cause I'm sick of battling out here, right? Like I'd like to go to Toronto or something, but
yeah, that'd be dope. I would like any sort of battle to be in fucking Toronto. I'm starving here, man. It's been like 3 years, 4 years, some shit like that. 3 years, I think, since I've been to an event.
Well, I just shipped Organic like 3 canvases that I epoxied that are like fucking half of a collection that he bought off me. So now I pretty much have to come out to Toronto to epoxy the other ones.
Nice.
but he said they might be able to line something up. So I don't know. We'll see what happens. But
yeah, is it been pretty quiet out there the past couple of years too? Obviously, deal with the pandemic and everything.
Yeah.
the battle rap world. Yeah.
Oh yeah, everyone's probably got like a fucking book bag full of fucking bars now too. So like fucking, I haven't written shit, so whoever I battle is just gonna smoke me. No,
End
I'm
up
just
like
kidding.
cannabis, pulling out fucking 30 pages of rhymes.
No, I'm just kidding. But no, it's fucking no. I just feel like no one's had a battle for like fucking, you know, like there was a good 2-year period there. So like, and a lot of people haven't got booked since then. So I feel like once people start getting booked again, people are gonna have like 2 years worth of bars in their fucking pockets.
Yeah. Any current event battlers might be fucked though.
Yeah.
And be like, oh shit, that's 14 months old. Can't use that no more.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
And as far as the music, battling, you're taking a step away from music. You got some shit in the hopper, but not ready when it's coming out.
Yeah, like I don't know. We just gotta shoot some videos for it, and I like some of my last shit. I put a little team together for like my social media and shit. So I just gotta get things like that figured out. It'll probably be in the summertime though. Like I don't want it to be after the summer. So.
And as far as the art, obviously it's your daily grind, it's your job, it pays the bills, puts food on the table. But is there anything you got in the works or coming up that you're really fucking excited for, or something big or a new challenge or anything?
Yeah, basically just a bunch of the festivals going on this year. I just got hired to be like the head like logistics coordinator for the art team for a festival out here called Electric Love.
Mm-hmm.
And so, yeah, I'll basically be running everything from like all the murals going on to all the art vending booths. So I don't know, it's just kind of dope. But besides that, just getting out to some different cities and like Toronto and shit and getting some murals and shit out there. So, yeah.
Right on. Amy, before we let Cody get out of here, you got anything you want to talk to him about?
No, I'm mostly just curious if you ever thought about working like on developing tattoos for people. You sounded quick to be like, everybody that does hates themselves. But
I thought that too.
Did it? Or
Yeah.
what?
No, I think I could probably do tattoos down the road or something once I have some free time. It's just like every single day I'm painting something to pay bills for something else we want to do, right? So whether it's clothing or a studio or a spot or it's just I never feel like I have like even like 20 minutes extra in my day, so I'm just like I don't know when I could have, but once maybe things pick up here with the other stuff and some more profits get flowing, then I'll have some time to like maybe sit down with a gun and learn that stuff. I like I've tattooed myself a few times and they're just fucking horrible. So
Let's see that shit.
I did this one to myself backwards. It's just a music note. But I did it backwards in the mirror, but it doesn't look nearly as good or as bad as it does in person.
Yeah.
and then I got a couple on my legs and stuff, but like just they're not good. So
Fuck that. How do you practice tattooing? That's something that I've always wondered.
You do banana skins or pig skins before you start the
There are also like silicone dummy type shits.
I don't know, man. It seems like BMX.
You get a sex doll, and then you got lots of fucking, you got lots of room.
Give her fucking neck tats and shit and drive around with her.
You can just tat her up like Bonnie Rott and you're good to go.
That's fucking terrible. All right, Cody, man, thanks a lot. Is there anything you want to get in? Anything you want to plug? Your website, your Instagram, everything. The floor is yours, my man.
Yeah, obviously. Okay, so yeah, Instagram. He has no face. The website is colorisgood.com, and that's color with a U, because I guess my buddy was trying to make it sound French or something, or I don't know. But yeah, colorisgood.com. And then any of the music is Cody Tkach. I'm on all platforms, and the videos are mostly on YouTube. So, and besides that, no, just thanks for having me. Yo.
No, man, it was good. I like the
Thanks for coming
conversation. I'll
through.
definitely
Yeah,
stay in
man.
touch with you, my man. We'll have to do it again. And if you make your way to Toronto, we definitely have to get together for a fucking blunt or a beer or something. Probably both.
Yeah, definitely. I will be there. So, yeah, probably either summer or fall. So I'll let you guys know.
Cool. We'll be talking. All right, for Cody Tkach, Amy Barton, and Kirill Kasatskiy, I'm Jay Kelly. This is Building Downtown. We out. Peace.
Peace out.
Yep.
Building downtown. Building downtown. Building downtown. Building downtown.